Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer 40,000 and we're going to look at how to create a Genestealer Cult's army using just 2 box sets. Those 2 box sets in particular will be the Genestealer Cult's Combat Patrol and the Genestealer Cult's Boarding Patrol box sets. Now, we're going to look at all the models inside both these units, talk a little bit about how they work on the table, before further exploring and looking at a sample army list of 1,000 points using just these 2 box sets to put it all together. Now, with that said, let's get cracking on into it, and so we have the Genestealer Cult's Combat Patrol box set here first. This box set is led by a Magus. The Magus is a Genestealer Cult's HQ option. It's a Psyker, can cast 2 psychic powers in its turn and knows 2 from the Broodmind discipline, the Genestealer Cult's specific discipline. Now you can give this model a Psychic Familiar as well, where once per battle you can reroll 1 Psychic test for the model, and you can also have it with its Magos Bio Dagger. This is a cool little melee weapon, strength 1, no AP, damage 1, but each time the bearer fights no more than 1 attack can be made with a weapon, but each time an attack is made with this weapon, a modifier wound roll of a 3+ inflicts a mortal wound in it, and the attack sequence ends. So it's a cool little stab mortal wound. Now, other than that, weapon skill with a skill 3+, strength, toughness 3, 4 wounds and 3 attacks, 32. So this model is, just a pretty solid little leader for your force. A nice little psyker to have. Now we then have the Goliath Rock Grinder, which also can be built as the Goliath Truck as well. The Rock Grinder being a heavy support choice, this is going to have a heavy weapon on top, which will start as a heavy mining laser. And the mining laser is heavy D3, strength 9, minus 3 AP, damage D6 blast, which is pretty cool. But we can also choose to upgrade this to potentially either a Clearance Incinerator, which is heavy 2d6, strength 6, minus 1 AP, damage 1 with auto hitting, or it can be a heavy seismic cannon where you have to choose and sort of look at what's in range. So the long wave is 24 inch, heavy 6, strength 6, minus 2 AP, damage 2, or short wave at 24 inch, heavy 3, but strength 8, minus 3 AP, damage 3. So you can either get more shots, but they're less powerful, or less shots and more powerful. Now, the Goliath Truck, that is the opposite of this, is a transport option for the army. It's a dedicated transport, can carry 10 Cult infantry models, and each Patriarch will take up 5 spots inside the vehicle. Now, alongside this, we then get 5 Aberrants. These are an elite choice for the force. Aberrants are pretty nice. They're going to be a heavy hitting unit. They've got their heavy power weapons, plus 3 strength, minus 2 AP, damage 3. But then they've also got the option on the unit's leader, the Aberrant Hypermorph, to have an improvised weapon where it'll be plus 1 strength, minus 1 AP, damage 2. But each time you do damage with the weapon, it spreads out across the rest of the unit. You don't lose any damage. You've also got Bestial Vigor, where they're just minus 1 damage coming into attacks against them. 5 Acolyte Hybrids can also be built from the unit. These are a troops choice available to us. They can have a cool bunch of different weapons, things like hand flamers. They've also got the demolition charges, heavy rock cutters, and rock drills for ×2 melee strength, which is pretty cool, and some mortal wounds in there as well. Now, you also can choose to build this unit as hybrid metamorphs as well. Hybrid metamorphs are a elite choice, and they've got the metamorph mutation, so they generally are going to be a little bit more mutated. The Savage Amalgam, each time a model's unit is destroyed by a melee attack, if that model has not fought this phase, they can attack before they're destroyed, which is pretty cool. Now, the last unit in here is Neophyte Hybrids. These are pretty much the humanoid-looking ones. Can't say too human about them, but they're the less corrupted ones. Now, the Neophyte Hybrids in here, they can have a nice bunch of different shooting weapons there, while you've got, a lot of different heavy weapons and stuff on the Acolyte Hybrids. The Neophyte Hybrids generally have a few different shooting weapons, so you've got mining lasers, heavy stubbers, grenade launchers, flamers, all available to the unit, along with things like webbers, which are pretty cool blast weapons, and each time an attack is made with a weapon, you don't roll to hit, instead roll 1d6. If the result is greater than the highest strength characteristic in the target unit, it will suffer a mortal wound, which is pretty cool. And so we then have the Genestealer Cult's Boarding Patrol box set. Now, this box set does contain Aberrants and Acolyte Hybrids, which can also still be built as hybrid metamorphs, which you've all already talked about. But let's talk about the two characters we're going to get that are different, and the first of them is the Kelermorph. Now the Kelermorph is an elite choice, and both the characters actually here are elite choice characters. But the Kelermorph has his 3 Liberator auto stubs, where they're all pistol 2, strength 5, minus 1 AP, damage 1, and each time on a modified wound roll of a 6 is hit, they'll do a mortal wound in addition to other damage, and it also ignores Lookout Sir. His Gunslinger ability, each time his model makes a range attack, if a hit is scored after the model has made the rest of its range attacks, that model can make one additional range attack at the same target using the same weapon. This range attack cannot generate any further additional range attacks. Hypersensory abilities in your shooting phase. After this model shoots, it can make a normal move or fall back as if it were your movement phase, even if it arrived as reinforcements. And then Heroic Deeds, Heroic Inspiration Aura. If this unit destroys any enemy models in the shooting phase until the end of the phase, it is Heroic Inspiration, and if this model is a Heroic Inspiration, while the friendly cult core units within 6 inch, they can reroll hit rolls of 1. On top of all this, it's got a 5-up invulnerable save, so this is a dedicated character killer. It comes in, slings like it's the Old West, and takes out a character. Now we then have the Abominant, which is pretty much a Aberrant style character. This is the big model you can see with the little dude on his base. It's got its Power Sledgehammer times 2 strength, minus 3 AP, damage D3 plus 3. The Chosen One, while friendly cult Aberrant units are within 6 inch, they can reroll the hit roll. Alien Resilience means it's got a 5-up Feel No Pain, Bestial Vigor, minus 1 damage coming in. And Mindworm Familiar means each time this model is selected to fight, you can reroll 1 hit or 1 wound roll when resolving its attacks. And so here we have our sample army list for the Genestealer cults. Now we've gone for an Arcs of Omen detachment, compulsory option being troops here, and then we've gone for playing in the Hive cult. Now the Hive cult is particularly my favourite. I think in this one, the ability to shoot and then fall back, even if you're at -1, and also the ability to perform actions in a turn in which you fall back, and you can also shoot without your action failing. I think these are just super versatile rules to have. Now, we've then gone for our Magos, who is going to have the ability, the Proficient Planning, Meditation, and Shadow, which will give it an additional psychic power. Now, the psychic powers we've gone for from the Brood Mind Discipline, Mass Hypnosis, -1 attack on an enemy unit. We can also make -1 to hit on an enemy's attacks roll. And then we've then gone for our last one, which will be Might from Beyond, where we can add 1 to attacks rolls, 1/1 to our attacks for our own units. Now we've then got the Warlord trait on this model, which will be from the Hive cult. What this one is it's called Hive Lord. It's an aura of 6 inch around our Warlord. Unmodified hit rolls of a 6 will score an additional hit with ranged attacks from friendly Hive-free core units. Now, we've then got our troops, which will be Acolyte Hybrids and Acolyte Hybrids. We've got the 2 units here, 1 of 10, which will include having the Blasting Charges, Heavy Rock Drill, Heavy Rock Cutter, and a Cult Bone Sword and Lash Whip on the unit of the large one. And then we've got the smaller unit of 5, where we've just gone for the Acolyte Leader with the Cult Claws and Knife. And then we've got a Heavy Rock Drill in there along with the Cult Icon as well. Now, we've then got the Neophyte Hybrid, 20 strong here. The leader has an auto pistol, blasting charges, and power pick and web pistol. We've then got a Webber, along with a seismic cannon. We've then got the mining laser and the cult icon in there, and a grenade launcher in the unit, along with 14 with auto pistols and auto guns. 9 strong aberrants with the aberrant hypermorph, taking them to a 10 strong unit. The Abaddon with the relic, which will be Vokdor's talisman. So this is the relic for the Hive cult. What this does is each time the bearer makes a melee attack on your modified wound roll of a 5+, saving throws cannot be made against the attack, and this includes invulnerable saving throws. We then have the Kelermorph with the Proficient Planning, which will be They Came From Below. This is a really fun one, I think, for the Kelermorph. This is for non-vehicle units. If the unit is set up in ambush, when revealing ambush markers, you can do one of the following. Remove 1 ambush marker from the battlefield and set up this unit in the underground instead. And after setting this unit up from an ambush marker, this unit can make a normal move as if it were the movement phase, but must end the move 9 inch away from enemy units. So you can come in, move around. It really helps with the Kelermorph being able to get where you want. Lastly, we've got the Life Rock Grinder, Cache of Demolition Charges, Drill Dozer Blade, a Heavy Mining Laser, and a Heavy Stubber on it, rounding out the force. If you've been playing with Genestealer cults in Warhammer 40k, let us know how you've been going down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and why not consider joining our Patreon or YouTube members on the channel as well. You can find the link to both Patreon and YouTube members, and indeed our merch stores on Teespring and Ko-fi down in the video's description. As a special thank you to everyone for supporting us on Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising 8, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Conomos, Colorblind Magic, Daniel Etherington, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, James South, James Tillman, Dylan Areno, and Gargamel196. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for our channel, and indeed to everyone who helps come on and do battle reports, and to all the people who help run our Discord server. Thank you all once again, everyone, for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.